welcome back to Life Full of Zest. And today we found ourselves in the beautiful part of the Eastern Cape along the coastline of the Transkei. This area is where Nelson Mandela was born, so it is such a special place for South Africa. And more specifically, we found ourselves at the Hole in the Wall. And this is a very iconic and beautiful area. It is a must-see if you are finding yourself in South Africa at any point. So yesterday, we did a little hike to Coffee Bay along the rolling hills of this coastline, and it was just absolutely amazing. You're overlooking beautiful ocean. And so what we're going to do today is really just focus on our tight joints, our tight muscles. We're going to be doing a gentle Pilates flow, and I'm just so happy that you can join us today. We are making our way back to Durban, and this is one of our last few stops that we have had. Before we begin, let's get our minds in a good space. Let's get our bodies in the right position. So let's bring ourselves to the center of the mat in a crisscross position. And we're going to start with a few deep breaths. So let's lengthen that spine. Let's take a deep inhale and closing those eyes if you have to. And exhale. And inhale. Draw those shoulders down that back, opening that chest. And exhaling out. Deep inhale, exhale, lifting that right arm up towards the sky, extending it up and slowly rolling it back down. And same thing with the other side. Inhale, lifting that left arm up on the exhale and slowly coming back down. We're going to do that with our both arms. Deep breath in, exhale, lifting both arms up towards the sky. Keeping those arms in the air, palms facing each other. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, extending and lifting that right arm up and over towards that left hand side and looking towards that left side as you reach forward. Inhale and come to center. Exhale towards that right hand side, looking in that direction that your arms are moving. Slowly coming back to center. And doing a big circle with those arms. We're drawing our arms towards our sides and lifting them back up. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to lean over towards the left hand side and reaching that right arm over as you keep that right glute on the mat. And inhaling, coming back to center. And same thing with the other side, looking to that direction. And slowly coming back to center, lifting those arms up towards the sky. Let's take a deep inhale and exhale, rounding those arms all the way to the side and lifting yourself back up. Deep breath in, and on that exhale, slowly dropping those arms all the way down to your sides. We're going to come along to the back of that mat, and I want you to sit with your knees up, facing the front of the mat. We're slowly going to drop our elbows onto the mat, and we're just going to start with some hip mobility. So bringing our feet slightly larger than shoulder width apart. We're just going to rock those knees from left to right. So you're just allowing those hips to face the sky, and then dropping those knees as you're working. Let's just allow this time just to loosen up, breathing as we move, and really just embracing the scenery and embracing this quiet time that you can have with movement and breathing. Slowly coming back to center. I want you to extend those arms. Fingers are facing your feet. Let's take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're slowly lifting those hips up towards the sky as you look up, and inhaling, slowly coming down. We're just going to do 4 of these, just allowing that body to warm up and get that activation. Squeezing those glutes as you lift, slowly coming back down. And let's do 2 more. Sucking that belly to spine. And last one, let's lift up. And we're just going to hold here, drawing those knees towards each other, lifting those hips as high as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming back down, placing those glutes back on the mat, extending that back. We're going to lift right arm up towards the sky, reaching up and slowly rolling back down. Now left arm all the way up towards the sky, reaching up and slowly bringing it back down. Deep breath in. Exhale, both arms all the way up towards the sky. And slowly bringing them back down and then back behind you, fingers facing that body. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lifting those hips up towards the sky. And slowly coming all the way down as you lift those arms up and bringing that chest towards the mat as you extend those hands onto the mat towards the front. And slowly rolling that spine, so tucking in that chin and just rolling your spine back up from the bottom of your hips all the way up, 1 vertebra at a time. We're going to do that again, lifting those arms all the way back up, dropping them down, placing them behind you, lifting those hips up. And inhale to pause. Exhale, slowly coming down, reaching those arms up towards the sky in a circular motion. And bringing that chest down towards the mat, keeping those sits bones on the mat, rolling yourself 1 vertebra at a time as you allow that spine to stretch out, extending that spine, lifting those arms up towards the sky, then bringing those hands behind you as you lift those hips all the way up, looking up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale. Bringing those glutes back to the mat as you round those shoulders up and drawing your arms over and towards the front of the mat as you drop that chest. Now we're going to hold here for a little bit. We're going to walk our hands towards the left hand side, keeping that right glute on the mat and just allowing that right hand side of your body to stretch out, pushing your shoulders into the ground. Now slowly walking back to center. And then walking those hands over towards the right hand side as you allow that left side of your body to stretch out. Now slowly coming back to center. I'm sure you're enjoying these beautiful stretches after a beautiful hike yesterday.
She dragged me out of the bed this morning. I would have preferred to be there.
Let's roll ourselves forward onto our all fours. Well, her husband managed to stay in bed today, but we have Wafty behind the camera. Let's take a deep inhale and exhale, lifting ourselves down into our first downward dog, pushing those heels into the ground. And deep breath. Exhale. Really push that pelvis up a little bit higher. And slowly rolling ourselves forward into front support. And then rolling ourselves back into that downward dog. And rolling forward. And we're going to do 2 more of these. Exhale into that front support. And last one. Rolling into that front support on that exhale. And coming all the way back up. Let's stay in that downward dog position. We're going to just walk those calves out. So I'm sure you'll agree with me, Michaela, after that hike yesterday, our calves are quite tight, so this is a really nice exercise to stretch out the back part of your legs. But really worth it so we could get those views in. And slowly pushing both those heels back down into the ground, taking a deep inhale and exhaling, rolling yourself forward. And now dropping that right knee down, then that left into an all fours position. We're going to extend that left leg and that right arm. We're going to hold here, extending and lengthening, flexing that left ankle. And we're going to lower and lift. That's the movement. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower and lift. That's 1. Lower and 2. Keeping that core tight and stabilizing. 3, 4, and 5. We're just doing 8 of these. 6, 7, and 8. Now lengthening that arm and that leg and just stabilizing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping that right arm down as you bring that left leg out towards the side. And now just placing it onto the floor. We're going to rotate that tailbone towards the wall behind you and lean all the way back towards.
Oh, this one feels really good.
And slowly leaning forward. So this is a really good stretch for the groin. I think we all found ourselves really tight into that hip area. Again, after doing a lot of walking and hiking. And last one, we're going to hold there and just really extend those arms out towards the front of the mat as you lean that chest down. We're going to hold here. Embrace that stretch. Really pushing that groin into the ground. Now slowly coming back into that all fours and extending that leg back behind you. And we're just going to toe tap, keeping hands on the mat. Inhale, exhale, toe tap, and lift up. That's 1, and 2, and 3. Looking straight down in front of you, tucking that chin. 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. And holding again, lifting that right arm up and extending and lengthening, stabilizing, finding that control and that composure. Deep breaths. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly dropping those limbs down and leaning into that rest position, pushing the shoulders into the ground. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, lifting yourself back up into that all fours. And now extending that left leg and right arm.
Left arm, right leg.
Hey?
Right leg, left arm.
Thank you.
Just here to keep you in line, hey?
And deep breath. Exhale, lowering those limbs to lift back up, flexing that ankle of that right leg. And all the way up, keeping that core tight. We've got 3 more. You want to feel a nice activation into that glute. And lifting up and holding here. Drawing belly to spine. Looking straight down in front of you. 8, 7. Keep breathing. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping that left arm down. And bringing that right foot out towards the side. Rotating that tailbone. And slowly leaning those glutes all the way back. This is a beautiful hip opening stretch. It really gives a nice pull all the way down the inner part of that leg. And keep going, just again allowing that breath to synchronize with that movement. And last one, leaning all the way down, drawing that chest towards the mat as you extend those arms towards the front of the mat, pushing those shoulders into the ground. And inhale, exhaling, coming all the way back into that all fours position, lifting that leg behind you. Let's take a deep inhale, exhale, toe tap. That's 1. And 2, keeping that core really tight and focusing on getting that activation in that right glute. And last one, toe tap down, lifting that leg and aligning it with the rest of the body. Let's draw that left arm up, extending it as far as you can, looking straight down in front of you. Let's hold for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Let's tuck those toes in under those feet. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lifting your hips up towards the sky, coming back into that downward dog. Let's see if we can push both heels into the ground as you draw that sternum towards the mat. Deep breath in and keep holding here. Let's hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly lift that right leg up and just tucking it in and rotating it outwards so that we can stretch out that right glute. So we're going to extend that back leg, and now we're just going to look up towards the sky, opening that chest. And again, let's just embrace this movement, embrace this posture, allowing a stretch coming all the way down that right hand side of that outer leg. Deep breath, exhaling, pushing that chest all the way down. Now tucking in that chin and pushing that spine towards the sky. And slowly dropping all the way down back to the mat as you open that chest, lifting that chin and that chest towards the sky. Now slowly dropping that chest all the way back down and tucking your left toes under onto the mat so that you can lift yourself all the way back up and lifting yourself up into that 3-legged downward dog, extending that leg, dropping it down. Now slowly rolling yourself forward, placing that pelvis on the mat as you open that chest towards the sky. Now lifting yourself back into that downward dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, lifting that left foot and tucking it in under that chest. Extending that right leg, opening that chest up towards the sky and really embracing that stretch into that left side of that glute. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, slowly drawing that chest all the way back down towards the mat. Now tucking in that chin as you draw that spine up towards the sky. Lifting up, keeping those hands on the mat and pushing that spine up. Now slowly bending those elbows as you draw that chest towards the mat and opening that chest up towards the ceiling as you open that chin. So also you'll find that you work in your arms during this movement because you are bending and extending your elbows. Let's do one more. Drawing that chest towards the mat as you open it up towards the sky. Now slowly taking those toes of that right foot under your heel to lift yourself back up all the way into 3-legged downward dog and slowly dropping that left foot onto the mat as you roll yourself forward. Now bending those elbows to bring yourself all the way down onto the mat, opening that chest. And now slowly rolling yourself down to get back into downward dog. And now slowly walking those feet towards those hands, and then bending those knees so that you can sit down into a beautiful seated position, bringing arms out in front of you, slowly rolling yourself all the way down onto the mat. We've got one more sequence before we complete our session. Let's place our hands on the sides of the mat, palms facing the floor. Let's take a deep inhale and exhale, slowly rolling ourselves into our pelvic curl. So rotating from the level of that lower back all the way up. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, bringing arms up towards the sky and overhead. And slowly drawing those hands back towards the mat as you lower that pelvis back down towards the floor. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, rolling that pelvis all the way up towards the sky. Inhale as we bring our arms overhead. And exhale, dropping those arms back to the sides, drawing those knees in, slowly rolling yourself back down. We're going to do 3 more of these. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lifting those hips back up towards the sky. Inhale, bringing arms overhead. Exhale, dropping those arms down. Deep breath in to prepare. And exhaling, dropping those hips back to the mat. We've got 2 more. Let's keep working. Really focus on that activation. Deep breath in. Exhale, lifting those hips all the way up. Deep breath in, drawing arms overhead. Exhale, dropping those hands back to your sides. Deep breath in. And exhaling, dropping those hips back down. Last one. Deep inhale. Exhaling, lifting those hips. Squeezing those glutes. Inhale, bringing arms overhead. Exhaling, bring those hands to the sides. Let's keep those hips in the air, drawing those knees towards each other. And then drawing those heels onto the mat and imagining them coming towards your glutes as you get that deep activation into those hamstrings, squeezing those glutes. Let's hold for another 5.
Yeah, my glutes are tired.
That's good. 3, 2, 1, and slowly rolling yourself back down. I was also feeling it, I must be honest. Let's lift that right knee into tabletop, placing both hands on that right knee. You're going to activate your core, drawing that knee towards chest as you resist it with your hands. And we're just going to hold here. Deep breaths. Keep working hard. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that right knee in the air, bringing hands up towards the sky, palms facing each other. We're going to lower both arms as we do toe tap with that right leg. Just make sure that left knee isn't falling out. Exhale, lowering. Inhaling, coming back to center. We're going to do 8 of these. We've got 5 more. So we're halfway. And we've got 3, keeping that core tight. And 2. And 1. Keeping that knee in the air, bringing arms into T-point. Let's extend that left leg onto the mat. And we're just going to do little circles with that knee. So you're just dropping that knee out to the side and then back. So imagine there's a pin on your knee and you're just creating little picture circles on the sky or ceiling above you. The key here is to stabilize and just make sure that you are keeping that activation and your shoulders and your hips are staying on that mat. slowly coming back to center, now changing direction. And let's do 4 more deep breaths. And now slowly coming back to center, placing that left arm on the outside of that right knee and just dropping that knee all the way across midline onto the floor on your left hand side, just allowing a stretch of that lower back, looking into that opposite direction. Now slowly coming back up to center and dropping that right foot onto the mat. Let's lift that left leg up into tabletop position. Taking both hands, placing them on that knee and stabilizing and activating with that core. Let's keep holding deep breaths and keep holding. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, keeping that knee in the air, bringing arms up towards the sky. Let's take a deep inhale and exhaling, toe tapping as you bring those arms overhead. That's 1. Sucking belly to, making sure that that right knee is not moving. And let's go for another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Coming back to center, bringing those arms into T-points as you extend that right leg. And let's drop that knee out to the side and then create little circles with that knee, keeping that core nice and tight as we stabilize. Keep working. You want to feel that movement within that hip joint. And slowly coming back to center to change direction. Keeping that control. And let's do 3 more. And coming back to center, let's bring that right hand and place it on the outer part of that left knee and dropping that knee across midline as you look in the opposite direction. Wow, this is a really good stretch. I'm really enjoying it. It's going into my lower back. Slowly coming back to center, placing both feet onto that mat. Let's lift that right knee up, the right foot off the mat and extending it all the way up towards the sky, placing your hands behind the back of that right knee. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can extend that left leg onto the mat. And
Nah,
just going to
I'll just keep it like this.
Pardon?
I said I don't want to intensify anything, thanks.
So then we can keep that left leg bent, as my sister has done. Then you don't have to get as deep a stretch. Otherwise, you can extend that left leg. Now slowly dropping that right leg onto the mat, lifting that left leg up and extending it towards the sky, interlacing your hands behind the back of that left knee. And again, if you want to have a lighter stretch and a more comfortable stretch, you can keep that right knee bent, as my sister is doing. Or if you want to increase that stretch, you can extend that right leg. And slowly dropping that left leg down onto the mat, placing both feet onto the mat. For our final exercise or movement, let's bring our knees and ankles together and we're just going to rock those knees from left to right. And slowly extending both legs onto the mat, bringing arms overhead. Deep breath in, exhaling, rolling yourself all the way up into seated. I hope you are feeling looser and more revitalized and energized for your day. I'm so glad you could join us with this beautiful scenery behind us. And it's been so amazing having my sister adventuring with me along the beautiful coastline of South Africa. We look forward to seeing you in that next video and enjoy your beautiful day.